and you're listening to Good Vibrations with Mish this Friday afternoon. I've got a room full of people. I've got Annie.
Hello.
Jason.
Hello.
Lana.
Hello.
River's on the switchboard, so he can't talk, but hi, River. And I've got Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hey, how are you?
Finally, you can hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Excellent, excellent. So I've been talking to Chris over Messenger since last year, I think, trying to get this organised. And finally, we're there. Yoo-hoo! Was it worth the wait? It was worth the wait. Tell me, trust me. Okay, so Chris, you know that this show is about mental health awareness.
Yep.
And I understand that you have a bit of a journey that you're happy to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I just want to let you know that we are on video, so we will eventually be able to release the video. We can see you, so don't go picking your nose. But you can't see us. But when we do release the video, we'll be able to see both videos. So when I've got it released, I'll send it to you. So no yawning or scratching things you're not supposed to scratch.
All right, cool.
Gotcha? Okay, cool. The only other thing too is that with your story, it is your personal story, so please don't go into business names, surnames or government departments because we don't want any legal issues happening. And I'm going to open the floor up to you. You say whatever you're comfortable with. Don't say, my phone's just going off. That's good for radio. Be comfortable. Don't say anything you're not comfortable to do, and I'll leave the floor to you. So where do we start?
Well, I suppose, I've never really done anything like this before.
I know you were nervous, right?
Yeah, I suppose I do a lot of, face-to-face training with big groups of people and all that sort of stuff. And I always find it really easy because I've done it for so long. I suppose when it comes to talking about, mental health and all that sort of stuff, I suppose it brings up a lot of vulnerable places, which I suppose it's kind of nice to be able to share it, especially when people listening can relate and be able to at least, even if they can just take something small from it that might help them, I think that's the most important thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go on. No, you go.
I've got a few categories that I sort of want to touch on.
Sure.
Obviously, talking about mental health in general and where I've sort of dived deep into that, and then just things like routine and gym and how it all sort of comes.
Yeah, absolutely. You are the gym freak. I've got to tell you something about the gym, right? Yeah. So I see your YouTube things or whatever you do every morning, and you're up at 5 o'clock doing the gym thing. Yeah. So I call you the freak, but but it's great to see, and it's great to see the motivation. I actually go to the gym twice a week.
Fantastic.
But no, hang on a second. Hang on. There's a story. I'm a support worker. I enter the gym twice a week with my client and I help him on the machinery. He's totally blind, so I have to assist him on the machinery. So yes, I do go to the gym twice a week.
Not to work out though.
But I don't go to physically work out.
It's the small steps, you know what I mean?
It's exactly right. Yeah. So I don't, I'm not telling a lie. I do go to the gym twice a week. But what's the story with the blooming mirrors? Why are there so many damn mirrors in a gym?
To be perfectly honest, I think it's purely so people can check themselves out. I don't think there's any other reason. Yeah.
I find it really weird that you get these, I don't even know how to say it nicely, people that, I mean, maybe they've had a transition from something really bad to now what they are today, but showing the muscles that they don't really have.
Yeah, I think
really strange.
When I first started, because I've been going maybe for about, 5 or 6 years now, on and off. And when I started, I only weighed about, 50 kilos.
Wow.
And, I was really skinny, really unhealthy. And now I'm about, 73, 74.
Okay. Stop it now.
And I suppose, I never looked in the mirrors and stuff like that. But now that you see really good results and you're sort of halfway through your exercise, you just, I don't know, it's a good feeling to sort of look at your progress and go, Far out, man. I've come a long way.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think quite
got
overhead,
you.
you know?
Got you. I'm nowhere near that, so I don't look at the mirrors at all. I actually turn my back to them. So, yeah. And the screaming. Why do people lift so much weight and they have to grunt and scream? If it hurts that much, is it because it's hurting or because it's giving you power or strength?
No, it's more about the overall effort. So sometimes, I don't know, I might be training my traps, right? And
Whatever
I
that
might
is.
be they're these parts.
Oh, right. Got you.
And I might get maybe 5 sets in, and I don't know, you just want to do another one just to get the extra stretch, the extra pump or whatever, and you're absolutely screwed. And I suppose the only way to get through it is just to yell. I don't know.
Okay. So you're a yeller.
I'm not much, I'm more of a grunt. I'll call it a loud grunt.
Okay, we better not go there. All right, so let's go back into the mental health side of things.
Yeah, cool.
Let's just go down that track again. So,
All right.
we sidetracked there, or sidestepped, I should say, for a little bit. So, where did you want to start with that?
Let's start at the start. So,
Okay, good place.
I grew up in Launceston, Tasmania.
All right, lovely place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Obviously, really green and really cold.
Yeah.
And I suppose with mental health, I suppose it doesn't. There's not really a time when you go, "Oh shit, I think I've got mental health
Okay,
issues."
yep, got you.
I think it's like a progressive thing. So, going through school and stuff, I was a bit of a geek. Love my computers and all that sort of stuff. And I lived with my mother, and she was really poor, really bogan. And I grew up in like housing commission and things like that. And I suppose due to that sort of stuff, from the get-go, you're automatically hanging out with, your friends and your mates that probably aren't the most tasteful characters,
Yeah.
to put it lightly.
Yeah.
And then from then, once you have a few shortfalls or whatever happens, I think it then progressively gets worse. So what I mean is, my mother passed away from cancer when I was 16.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all good. And I suppose at a young age, you only have so many, I don't know what you want to call it, coping mechanisms
Yep.
That you think are going to help. And once you get to that point where you feel, I don't know, lonely, bored, or you just have low self-worth and things like that, or you're not feeling love,
Yep.
you automatically, or a lot of people automatically turn to drugs,
Yep.
to, I don't know, hide those
Coping
emotions.
mechanisms, yeah.
Yeah. And then progressively, I suppose, the more drug use you have, the better you feel at the time. But unfortunately, all those mental health issues, you pack them away and they get worse and worse
Yep.
and worse and worse until there's a point where you stop, and then you have to deal with everything
Exactly.
that comes up,
Yeah. Can I ask quickly?
Yeah.
So you were brought up by a single parent, your mother.
Yeah.
So what happened to you when your mother passed?
Well, I sort of shut off from the world.
Who looked after you? Where did you go?
I stayed with my father for a bit.
Okay.
But then I ended up just moving out and doing my own thing.
Was he also in Tasmania?
Not anymore, but he was at the time.
Okay, right, yep.
I don't want to touch on
No,
family.
no, absolutely not. No, that's fine. No, absolutely not.
But then I suppose I just sort of shut off, and I had a lot of sadness and a lot of
Do you have anger? Do you have anger?
I didn't have anger. I actually had a bit of regret as far as
Oh,
the night my mum passed away. I was at a mate's place having a party, and I was 16.
oh,
And then I found out in the morning because my father had picked me up, and that's why I had a bit of regret and a bit of
Okay.
like, far out, I didn't even get to say goodbye type thing.
how have you dealt with that?
Oh, like now, that's more touching on the reason I do gym
Okay,
and about routine and whatnot. So
okay, let's go back then.
yeah. So anyway, I shut off from the world. I became a pretty big drug addict, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
And all your friends and all your people you hang out with all do the same thing,
Yep.
and because they've got a lot of pain as well and whatever.
Yep.
And you can never see the outside perspective of just how bad you've gotten until you get out of that.
Yep.
And I went through roller coasters of really bad, then doing well, then really bad, then doing well. What changed for me was because I had heaps of psychiatrists and psychologists that always try and give you different medications and different coping mechanisms and things like that. I even went to rehab, all that sort of thing. But I feel like drug addiction and mental health can only be fixed if you have a reason to fix it.
Yep.
That you actually care about, not that everyone else cares about.
Yep.
And also understanding how boundaries and discipline are the only way. There's no other way, in my opinion.
Okay, got you.
And the reason I say that is because as far as boundaries go, obviously cutting off those friendship groups and creating new friendship networks and all that sort of stuff. Without doing that, you basically have no hope. But then with the whole discipline thing, depriving yourself of, going out with your mates on a Friday night because you know that after a few beers you're probably then going to go the wrong way.
Yep.
And things like that. After doing it repetitively over and over and over, and then I started my own businesses maybe like 9 years ago.
Okay.
And I've got a 7-year-old daughter who lives in WA.
Okay.
And she comes and stays with me during school holidays.
Oh,
and I
good.
there. Yeah. Due to having my daughter, having my businesses, and also doing gym, it basically gives you no area to sort of fuck it up again.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, definitely.
Because if you sleep in and don't go to work because you're hungover or you're using drugs,
there's a consequence.
then, your employees suffer.
Yep.
If you don't have extra cash to see your daughter, clearly you don't see your daughter and you're a shit father. And then if you're drinking heaps and not eating well and all that sort of stuff, well then gym just goes out the window as well.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
yeah. So I find just those combination of things and understanding why they're there, and understanding just how much better life can be when you do have that clean living.
So before the daughter, before the work, there was no consequences for your actions. Now there's consequences for your actions.
100%.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds very good.
Yeah. I suppose one of the things as well, with a lot of people that have been through what I've been through as well, because I've got lots of friends that have done the exact same thing and they all own their own businesses now and they do the gym thing and they're all pretty successful.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of people don't believe that it's possible, who are going through mental health issues that can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes I feel like when you educate people on, well, why don't you go to the gym every day? Trust me, it'll make you feel better. Why don't you dive deep into your career and really hone in on that as well? I feel like it just sort of goes over their head and they're like, nah, it's too hard.
Too hard. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's a big goal though. For me, going to the gym sounds huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Having to go to the gym.
Is it because you find the gym daunting?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Being in my 50s, being overweight, being female, it's not a place that I'm comfortable in.
Yeah. My auntie had the same thing, and she supports all my progress and stuff like that. She actually bought a treadmill to put in her garage, purely because she was never going to go to a gym.
Did she use it?
Yeah, constantly.
Because I've had them before, but I hang my washing on it. But I think it's just laziness.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily laziness.
I'm not used to it.
You don't necessarily have that goal at the end that you know is possible yet. So
correct.
My auntie had bad hips and all that sort of stuff. She got Ricos and whatever. She just set herself a small goal of, right, I'm going to treadmill 3 days a week for an hour at a time or half an hour at a time, whatever it was. And then after a couple of months of doing it, then she went to like 4 days, then 5 days.
Okay.
And now her hips are beautiful.
I could do that. I can do that. I've been thinking of
Yeah.
getting a treadmill, and because I watch a lot of TV and I sit in my butt and watch TV, if I was on my treadmill for the whole time I was watching TV, I'd be a size 8, amazing person. So, like, it's not like I don't have time. It's
Correct.
just because I'm lazy. So if I can change that and get the treadmill behind the couch in front of the TV,
Yeah.
winning.
Correct. And it's also about gym and physical progress is a very long-term thing. Like, like I've trained for like 5 years, and for the last probably 2, I've been really like serious. And a lot of people I've seen at the gym for years and years, they're like, far out, you've been putting on a lot of size recently, blah, blah, blah. But that's only because I've put a lot of hours in, whereas some people think, oh, if I go for 2 weeks and I don't see any difference, well, it mustn't do anything.
Yeah.
But that's why you have to go for a minimum of 12 months, and then you'll see,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and I think I read a post that you put out the other day saying that you've only recently been happy to see yourself in the mirror, to post pictures of yourself, because you're at that point where you are content with how you're looking.
Yeah. I had a lot of body dysmorphia and self-confidence issues, which was sort of combined with my mental health stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just growing up, had lots of acne and was really skinny, and then due to drug abuse, you don't really put on much weight.
No.
And every day I look in the mirror, I just wasn't happy, and that's one of the reasons why I find it very easy to wake up at 4:30 in the morning and do all that, because now I look in the mirror and I'm like, far out, man, you're looking pretty cool. And yeah, I know. We walk down the street, it's a sunny day, you got a singlet on, people look at you, and you're like, far out, man. Like, I never thought this would happen,
Yeah, that's cool. Can you remember what made you go into the gym the very first day? And can you remember that first day?
Yeah. So I've got a mate who I've been friends with for maybe, 8 years. He Tasmania. There was one day, because he used to go to the gym a lot, and he said, this was maybe 6 years ago, and he said, oh, why don't we go to the gym if you want to like put on some weight and stop being skinny? And I said, oh,
were you clean at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he just said, oh, trust me, you'll love it. And I was like, going to the gym is probably the last thing in the world I want to do.
Yep.
And then we went and did a session for about an hour, and as soon as I walked out of the gym, because he pushed me so hard, I was sweating and sore and whatever. I don't know. I just had this beautiful bit of like energy of, wow, I haven't pushed myself physically like that since I was in school when I did sport. And I don't know, the endorphins and the
fact that you thought you couldn't probably do it, but you did it.
Yeah.
It's an achievement.
I just went every day for like a couple of months, got heaps of protein shakes and all that sort of stuff. And then mentally, I just felt so much better. So even without the physical changes that weren't even happening yet because it hadn't been long enough,
no,
I was like, far out, I think I'm onto something here. And then, I've never really looked back.
That's amazing. So, and can you tell me, so did you go to the gym in the very, very beginning with somebody to motivate you, or were you comfortable to go on your own?
Well, I only went with someone to start with so they could show me how to do everything properly.
Okay, yep.
Because there's a thing called form, and if you don't have perfect form while you're starting up, you can get lots of injuries.
Yep, definitely.
The right muscle groups don't get the right attention, and then basically you're just training and it's just a waste. So by learning all that form at the start, now I always train by myself. I don't really like training with people that much because they always want to do a different body part than you, or they always want to do a different exercise than you.
Or they're chatting about what they did on the weekend. Or when I go to the gym, of course I go twice a week, remember. There's a group of ladies that go in there, and they're going in there for physiotherapy. So they do these but they take their coffees in, they've got matching T-shirts. They're all in their 50s, 60s, but it's a social event for them.
Yeah.
But, good on them. Why not? Why not?
Exactly.
It's all part of the mental health. It's a social thing.
Yeah, I actually find the most impressive thing at the gym, to be perfectly honest, is when really big people come in.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see that they probably weigh about at least 150, maybe 180 kilos. They're obviously really unhappy with how they look, all that sort of stuff. But I love the fact that, one, they've actually turned up.
That's courageous.
And two, you see them every day, and I always smile at them, I always say hello.
Admire them, admiration.
They have more courage than most,
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, definitely courage. And the people like that are inspiring, aren't they?
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Because when we walk into a gym, we see people like you, Chris, and we think, there's no way in the world I'm going to get anywhere near like that. I mean, obviously I'm female, so I'm not going to anyway. But you know what I mean? Like, you see these little girls with hardly nothing on, and you think, well, I'm wasting my time. There's no way I'm going to... But it's because my goal is their goal. I'm thinking the wrong thing. I'm thinking I should be thinking about what my goal is, not looking at their goal, if you know what I mean. Correct. So I'm never going to be 18 again. I'm never going to have boobs that stick up in the air again. Yeah. So I've got to think about what my goal is and concentrate on that and not what other people are doing.
For sure.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things as well, which a lot of people don't see, for people who do have great physiques and things like that, is actually the dieting behind it. So the funniest thing is, though, whenever anyone mentions the word diet, everyone always thinks of like, oh shit, like Jenny Craig, or I've got to sacrifice so much and I can't have this, I can't have that. But obviously through gymming and all that, obviously researching, exercising, supplements, diet and whatever, the biggest thing I found is I'm lucky. So I'm like I think it's a ectomorph. It's body type, which basically just means I just lose weight regardless.
God.
So
I'm definitely not that.
Nah. So I have to eat about 8 to 10 times a day.
Okay. How did you figure that out? How did you work that out?
Well, you just know. So there's ectomorph, which is me, which just means you just lose weight all the time unless you eat heaps. And then there's mesomorph, which is the opposite, and that's people who you can just eat.
You can look at it and you put weight on.
Yep.
You can look at it and put weight on. That's me.
And then there's the one in the middle, which is, I think it's endomorph or something, and they're a bit of both, right?
Okay.
But
I'm stuffed
the thing with the mesomorph thing, which is like the people who carry a lot of weight and they find it hard to lose it, they often think, oh, okay, well, I'm only going to eat lunch, and then for breakfast I'm going to have a shake, and then at dinner I'm just going to have something small. And I'm going to cut out my sugar and my carbs, and they think that's
instantly what everyone thinks.
Yep. But the thing is your body's like a car engine, right? So regardless whether you're a big, small, whatever.
I'm a big V8, by the way.
It needs the right fuel, so it's running all day, right? So instead of a shake in the morning, if you just have like veggies, really low carbs, and a bit of protein, and then eat again in like 3 hours, but only have something small, and then eat again 3 hours after that, but something small, and then for dinner have something really healthy. Your body for the whole day is being processing, right? But
so you've just mentioned 4 meals in that day, right? No snacking, 4 meals only.
Yeah, and then you can have snacks in between, but they have to be, low calorie, low carbs and stuff.
Do you count your calories?
I used to, but now I know what it is.
Should we be?
So there's an app called MyFitnessPal.
MyFitnessPal.
Yep.
Okay. I'm writing it down.
You can get the free version, and then you can just track your calories. You can literally scan barcodes and it shows you what they are.
Yeah.
So I have to have about 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. Yeah. But for other people, you have to have what you call a calorie deficit. So most people's maintenance calories might be, say, 2,000 to 2,500 a day. So instead, you just track your calories and make sure you sit under that at like 1,500 to 1,800.
Because I'm not maintaining my weight. I have to lose the weight.
Yeah, and then you just make sure you exercise once a day, you eat consistently so that your body's processing all day.
Yeah. I can do that very easily. I can eat all day.
Yeah.
I'm just not eating the right things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, that's given me a lot of inspiration. I don't know about you guys in the studio.
Definitely.
Definitely. So, Lana, are you going to go off and get I'm going to get a treadmill. I promise you, Chris. I'm going to get a treadmill. I'm going to send you a photo of me on the damn thing.
Yeah, do it.
And then the next day, the washing will be sitting on.
I'm literally planning on starting to go doing like weights and like running at the gym.
Are you?
Like at least starting off one day a week.
That's okay. That's a start.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not
awesome.
sure how much spare time I'll have, but.
What are you, Annie?
I've got an app a couple of days ago, and I was looking on TikTok, and I was like, oh, like, you know, that like I've been thinking about it for so long. I was like, oh, like I want to start going to the gym, blah blah blah, but I don't have enough time for it. And I got this app. I forgot what it's called, but it's basically a workout on your bed. So what you do is it's
Perfect.
like,
Send me the app.
yeah, it's literally just like a bunch of workouts you can do on your bed. So it's like things like with your legs
Stretching
and your
and
torso,
things.
yeah. And it's like about 10 minutes every single night, and then you can like measure like your heart rate and stuff
Cool.
like that. So I've been doing that for the past couple of days. I'm gonna try
Cool.
and I'm gonna try and see what
Chris, she's
happens.
16, by the way.
17, yeah.
17.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah,
know.
good show.
So it's a
It's good to
start.
get an
It's
early
good to start.
start.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But get off the bed.
Yeah.
You know the whole saying, if I don't have time,
Mm.
everyone has time. Everyone has
You
time.
just gotta
have
find
to
it.
make you have to force it.
Priorities.
Like, I don't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Trust me, I'd rather sleep in till 8, right? But I get up at 4:30, so I have an hour and a half. You know, even though I don't want to, I do.
It's
you
an
know?
excuse, isn't it? We don't have time.
I don't want to say that, but yeah, probably
It is. I know it is. I use it.
Yeah.
I use any excuse I can find. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get the treadmill. So, but on your post that you're posting every morning, you've got your routine down to minutes, pretty much.
Yeah. I used
Do you
to
stick to
have
that?
alarm. Yeah, I used to have alarms
For everything. I do that.
For the first 2 months,
Yep.
just to cane me, and I had the most annoying like ringtone, so that would like
You'd
be
have to do something about
excruciatingly
it.
annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the reason I have it like that is so that I can 100%, you know, get in like audio book, meditation, training, breakfast, you know, so then I know that by the time I get to my office at like 8 in the morning, after work when I'm absolutely buggered, I can literally just sit at home, watch TV, or I can
That's
go and have a
amazing.
beer if I want to have a beer, like, because I've got it all done, you know what I mean?
It's a full-on routine, like
Yeah.
down to
Yeah.
the minute. It's very inspirational.
Appreciate it.
It's lovely to read.
I suppose, like, it seems a bit silly, but
No.
there's a lot of Instagrammers that I used to follow heaps, and all of them that are obviously successful, make huge changes and whatnot. It all comes down to doing this, literally the exact same thing over and over and over and over consistently. Yeah,
It's all about routine, isn't it?
yeah, correct.
The whole thing is all about routine.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I love seeing that you because I'm a very much an organised person, so I would be one to put my phone on alarm for every moment,
Yeah.
and I do that. But you've literally got 7 minutes for this and 6 minutes for that, and it's awesome, absolutely awesome. I love it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So what? So you've gone from your difficult upbringing, losing of
Yeah.
your mother.
Yeah.
You've got your daughter. You do
Yep.
your gym. What else do you? I know you're a very busy person. You're doing your
Yeah.
gym in the morning. Do you run?
No. I don't like cardio at all.
No, not cardio at all.
Yeah.
And then you work. You've got your own business,
Yeah, so I've got own a call centre in Brisbane, and
and it's got
we
the word
also-
inspire in it, hasn't it?
yeah, it's called Inspire Sales Group.
Excellent. Good for
Yeah.
you.
And we do some face-to-face sales as well. We work with a lot of like non-for-profit organisations and things like that.
hmm
I've literally been doing it now for about. Before I was self-employed, I worked as a rep as well. I've done it for about 12 years,
Okay.
and it's just one of those things that when I first started, I just wanted to become the best salesperson in my office.
Awesome.
I did, and then I just wanted to become really good at training people to do the same thing.
Mm.
So I did, and then a couple of my mates, we just set up some businesses, travelled around Australia, just raised money for non-for-profits. Which
Awesome.
if you do a really good job, obviously it pays well as well. So
Sure.
you put the effort in, you get the effort back. I think.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you.
It's great. And so, if you want to plug your business again.
So it's called Inspire Sales Group. We're actually rebranding at the moment. So as of Monday, it's going to be called Xylophone.
Oh no, you're taking the Inspire out.
Yeah, we just.
Why did you change that? What was the idea behind that?
It's a bit of a long story. Just,
okay.
just a couple of contracts, just swapping around.
Fair enough.
Just wanted to have a bit of a fresh one, you know.
So it's just a change of image, not of your.
Change of name, change of image, and then just creating a couple of new divisions in the new.
Good for you. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's really good. So how many staff would you employ?
In our call centre, we've got about 8 to 10 people at the moment.
Cool.
And then we do a couple of road trip face-to-face teams, which has about, 6 to 10 people that sort of float about.
Yeah,
So,
that's really
yeah.
good. And are you based in Brisbane?
yeah, correct.
You are in Brisbane.
I live in Wollongabba.
Yeah, I don't know that area.
Have you heard of the Gabba? The
yeah,
stadium?
of course.
Yeah, I can throw a stone at it and hit it from my balcony.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So that's
Yeah.
why you walk everywhere.
No, I drive everywhere, but
Do you you walk to the gym though, don't you?
it's over the road from my
Oh,
apartment.
there you go. That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good reason too.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to. I'd park my car. I'd get in the car, walk across the street. Oh, it's terrible. You know what? You've inspired me. I'm definitely going to go and do something about it. I'm definitely going to change. There's a
I
change
think-
coming.
I think one thing I wanted to add on there as well, as far as inspiration or things that do help,
Mm-hmm.
especially the routine, is reading. So I don't know if you guys do much reading.
I
with
find it
book development.
hard.
I love
I love
reading.
reading.
Do you?
Yeah.
I find it hard. I don't have it. My attention span is just nothing.
I'll give you a tip. So I used to read like books, like actual read physically. For years and years, just heaps of different ones, like Think and Grow Rich, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, How to Win Friends and Influence People, all the well-known ones.
Yeah.
But I suppose in the last couple of years, 3 years, just like yourself, my attention span's really bad for reading. Like I'll flick through a couple of pages and be like, nah.
Yeah.
So I use Audible for like audiobooks.
Yeah.
And
Do you pay for each one of those books?
So yeah, I've got a library. So every month you pay your subscription, they give you a free credit, and then with that credit, you can just buy any book on their thing, included in your membership.
Yeah.
So I probably have maybe 30 books that I've listened to,
Okay.
and I don't know. I think it's helpful. So when you're driving, you just chuck it on, and then you can sort of zone out and listen. Or when you're in the morning, you might be eating breakfast or something. You just chuck it in and you just listen to it. Or at night time in bed, just put it in, and then. Some of them, like it surprises you. Like you can get a chapter done in 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Audible,
yeah,
and I'm getting a treadmill.
good stuff.
Oh my God! What have you done to me? Yes. Okay. We'll do that. That's really good though. I mean, I'm glad that you've come on and we finally got to chat today. If you ever want to come back on, let me know, because we can always have a monthly chat or every 6 monthly chat or whatever. You might have something new you want to bring to the table.
No, I'd love to. I think touching on the mental health stuff a bit further, like it's all going well. To
definitely.
Go,
Definitely.
well done. You've got this or this, or you like it. I think the most important part is a lot of people may have all their issues, and like I've got bipolar.
Me
So I
too.
take.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah. Lana does too.
Oh wow. So I take a tablet at night, a tablet in the morning, just to help chill it out a bit. But things like drug abuse or alcohol abuse or not having a routine and not eating healthy really messes with it, and that's why I have all these things as well, to sort of keep it at bay. And I think it took me so long to just accept that. Nah, sorry, your brain's wired a little bit differently.
Yep.
You've got to create these barriers and stuff to make sure that you can just keep it on an even playing field, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are embarrassed to admit it. And I think a lot of people, once they do finally come to that
Awareness.
and they go, shit, I do have something going on. I think they're scared of seeing doctors. I think they're scared of medication. And I think they're scared of even sharing with people because it's humiliating.
Yeah, correct.
So the biggest thing I can sort of say for people who are sort of stuck in a bit of a hole is the whole doctor thing, the tablet thing, and all that sort of stuff, push that to the side to start with, and actually eat healthy, do some exercise, get all your career and stuff sorted first, so that money's not a stressful thing. And then once you've got that in order, then go and tackle the medical side of it, because then you're more, I don't know, willing to find a solution, because your brain's not all messed up. And then it means that when you are trying different medications, they're obviously going to work a lot better because you're already in your best sort of
that's a good point.
version of yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. One question: when because you're the gym junkie, what happened during COVID for you?
Oh wow! So in my apartment block, the first time we got locked down, the building manager forgot to lock the gym. So we just used to go up to the gym
joking.
and just use it, yeah. But then the second time she shut it, and I was like, all right, cool. So I went and bought a weights set, and then I'd try and use my dining room chairs and be like, but then they just tip over and stuff. So then I just gave up and just sort of shrunk for a while.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah. So it did affect you majorly then.
Oh yeah, it's not. I think. I don't know. We can probably touch on this for a little bit. I think COVID was probably one of the worst catalysts for not only making people's mental health worse than it already was, but I think it actually developed other people that didn't have mental health issues that now do.
Yeah.
That's
another good subject. We could do another subject on that. I think, maybe you can come on another time and we can really have a good talk about that, because definitely COVID was a major thing for everybody in different ways in their lives, and depression for sure has either been enlightened or come out into the into the open for people that thought they never had it.
Well, I think it's the main part of it's the loneliness, human interaction. So even just on social media and stuff, that interaction's beautiful.
Yep.
But just knowing that you can't, even if you don't want to, knowing that you can't is the worst part. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it is definitely an interesting subject, that one. Yeah. And there's plenty of things that we could, because that's the reason why I'm at IP Radio, because I suffer from depression and anxiety, and I was going through a really difficult time in September last year, and Sorry to hear. That's okay, it's just one of those things. I realised it was because I was isolating myself. I was locking myself into a darkened room. I wasn't talking to family and friends. I was having every excuse under the sun not to go out. So I figured out that I really needed to do something. And I really wanted to do something voluntary as well. And I think that's really helped me out with that as well. But it's the best thing I've ever done is getting involved in the radio, because not only is it helping me with my mental health, but I'm also helping people out there with mental health awareness. So it's a give and take.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a give and take, so it's awesome. Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. I don't want you to go, but if you ever want to get back on and have a chat, please let me know. You've got all my details, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. I was really nervous to start with, but I think once we got going, I think it's been beautiful.
I've been sending you weird pictures, just like you think this woman's weird, so I'm going to be fine. But I think, everything's good, and I think it was worth the wait, Chris.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
I really
it was worth the wait. Thank you. Everybody say goodbye.
See ya.
I'm going to do
guys. Thanks for listening.
Guys. You have a great weekend, won't you? And take care out there.
I will do. You
Cheers.
too.
See ya.
Bye.
Please be aware, this show may contain conversations and interviews with discussions about suicide, self-harm, and or references to other mental health disorders that may act as a trigger. If this does occur, please call Lifeline on 13 11 14. Thank you.